Morning students, today we will study redox titrations. So redox reactions means those reactions in which oxidation and reduction go simultaneously. Simultaneously means hand in hand. At one side oxidation is going on and in the same reaction reduction is going on. So first of all, the basics of redox titrations. First is oxidation. Oxidation means loss of electrons. You can very well see from the equation that ferrous ion is losing one electron to become ferric ions. It has lost one electron and ferric ion is generated. Ferric ion with plus 3 valency. Earlier ferrous ion were having plus 2 valency. It has lost one electron and it has become now ferric ions. That is oxidation, which is loss of electrons. Then second term is reduction, which is gain of electrons. Now you can see cerium ion is gaining one electron. Earlier it was having valency of plus 4, but now it has gained one electron and it has become cerium plus 3. So now what is an oxidizing agent? Which gains electron. And reducing agent? Which loses electron. Right? So now we are doing the redox titrations. So in most of the redox titrations, the indicator used is starch. But in some other titrations, permanganometric titrations, we are using potassium permanganate as the indicator, which is acting as a self-indicator. So today we are doing the standardization of sodium thiosulfate, in which we are using starch as indicator. So what happens when we are using starch as indicator? It is reacting with, the starch is reacting with iodine in the presence of potassium iodide to give you blue colored complex. You have already seen in various experiments that whenever we add starch and iodine, we always get blue color. Right? So in this standardization of sodium thiosulfate, what we are doing is we are taking sodium thiosulfate in the burette. Why? Because the normality of sodium thiosulfate is already known to us, which is 0.1 normal. So sodium thiosulfate is reacting with iodine to give you sodium iodide plus sodium tetrathionate. Which will give the final color, sodium tetrathionate. But the question is from where this iodine has come. So what we have taken in the conical flask potassium dichromate for standardization of sodium thiosulfate. We have taken potassium dichromate, we have added potassium iodide and some amount of HCl. All three of them will react together to generate iodine, which was our main purpose. Because once this iodine will be generated, it will react with sodium thiosulfate in the burette to give you the final compound, that is sodium tetrathionate. So the purpose of adding potassium dichromate and HCl together is to generate the iodine. But one thing you have to remember, in these titrations, you will not use the normal conical flask. You will always use iodine flask, which has a narrow opening at the top. Why it has a narrow opening? Because the iodine which is liberated here, it will escape very early, very easily. We don't want the iodine to escape fastly. So we will take iodine flask so that iodine remains in the conical flask and it will react more and more with potassium dichromate and potassium iodide, and it will give you, it will react with sodium thiosulfate to give you sodium tetrathionate. So let us see the iodine flask and let us see the performance of this experiment in the laboratory. Good morning students. Today we will do the standardization of sodium thiosulfate in the laboratory. We will see how the sodium thiosulfate gets titrated with potassium dichromate. We will always take iodine flask in this titration. This is your iodine flask with the stopper. This is your normal conical flask in which we can carry all other titrations like acidic, nitric and alkali. This is your normal conical flask without any stopper, and this is your iodine flask. See, it has a narrow opening and with a stopper. This narrow opening is to prevent the escape of iodine, which will be generated when we will add the potassium iodide and the HCl. Three of them will react together to generate the iodine. So you can very well see the iodine flask. This is iodine flask with a stopper with a narrow opening, and this is your normal conical flask. In this burette we have taken sodium thiosulfate. Now this iodine flask contains potassium dichromate. We will add potassium iodide and HCl together to generate the iodine. Now I am adding HCl. See the color change? So since these are redox titrations with iodine, we will always use starch indicator in the titrations of iodine and sodium thiosulfate. So this is your starch indicator. We'll add 2 ml of starch solution. We will mix it properly. So you can very well see we have added potassium dichromate, potassium iodide, HCl and the starch indicator in this iodine flask. And in the burette we are having sodium thiosulfate. We will mix it properly and we will see the generation of iodine. So dropwise we will add sodium thiosulfate. See the color change. Blue color we have got. This is our end point. And this is the final color of this titration.